Hi folks, welcome to the Amazing Education Channel. It's about being healthy. Be healthy. Um, Thank you for liking, thumbs up, subscribing, commenting, sharing the videos, and also watching the other videos which tell you what is really going to benefit you for your future, to smarten you up and have a better financial, healthy future, more peace, a more peaceful planet, cleaner, less pollution, and so on. And so now there's a lot of things that you can do for your health. Oh, by the way, these videos are more about listening. I don't have good equipment. All I have is my phone. So it's just about listening and about the ideas more than about the graphics and the video. But I'm a professional master educator, and so you can benefit. This is what you really would benefit from hearing, rather than what you think already and what you might think you want to hear. And as a very famous person, it might have been Mark Twain, said, it's not what you don't know that hurts you, something like this, but it's what you think you know that just isn't true that really causes you the trouble. So it's what you know but really isn't so that helps you make poor decisions, bad decisions. And so I'll give some advice. It's never financial advice, not medical advice. It's just for education, entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, not a medical doctor, lawyer, etc. Just a master educator. And now to be healthy. So these days, there are many threats to our health. We're driving vehicles. Driving is terrible for your health. You ought to be walking at least an hour a day. So move closer to where you go to school, move closer to where you work, or where you go grocery shopping, so that you can walk and within 15 minutes, or maybe ride a bike, number one. Number two, this is March of 2022. We have a pandemic going on still. People are getting sick. It's probably a good idea to get vaccinated. It's going to be much more safe than not being vaccinated for many different illnesses, tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis, the flu, so on and so forth. These are deadly diseases. Yes, they are. If you're young and healthy, you might be fine. But anyway, so these are recommendations, but also they always say wash your hands. But you know what? If you go to some kind of public bathroom, or even your home bathroom, and you touch the faucet handle, you're sharing. It's like sharing the germs with whoever else touched the faucet handle. The same thing could be said about touching doorknobs. So it might make you look freaky, but there's a reason why many grocery stores and businesses have automatic doors. Doorknobs break, but also they get dirty and disgusting. And if you don't have a doorknob, you don't have to clean it. And just keep in mind that you may need to sanitize your doorknobs, or you can have long sleeve shirts and then just use the shirt to open the door so you're not touching the door directly. Although that doesn't work if somebody has wet hands and gets the door handle all wet, but that's pretty rare. Also, we need fresh air. A lot of people are inside with air conditioning. It's a wonderful way to spread illness, perfect way to spread illness. Inside, public transportation, and buses, trains, elevators, and also office workers, just a lot of businesses. People are indoors, and the cool air actually helps keep the viruses living in the air longer during the summer with the air conditioning. And of course, things are cool generally in the winter in the United States, and so that helps the viruses float through the air and not be destroyed. So we need to move to a more open air outdoor lifestyle. It's hard living in North America, but we need to generally have smaller family sizes and reduce our populations in North America. So prices of housing will come down. It'll be a lot cheaper to have larger space. We're just overcrowded. We are frankly overcrowded. Yes, there's a lot of empty land, but that's land that's far away from the cities, far away from the rivers and the sources of water. And there's a reason why it's empty land. It's, yeah, maybe good for farming and so on, but not for the living where we take showers and use the bathroom and everything, and washing dishes and cars and stuff like that. It's just not easy to be far away from the rivers. And so near where the good places to live are, it's already overcrowded, and so we will all be healthier as we reduce our family sizes and get our population about 90% less from what it is now, get down to about 1 billion people or fewer on the planet, and then we have a chance to be healthier and have more space at a lower cost, and then we won't have to work so hard. A major reason for poor health is working so hard and driving around, and what people need to eat when they work so hard is a lot of calories, and they tend not to eat healthy homemade foods. It's often factory foods, fast food, and restaurant food. And you think you might be eating healthy food, but you frankly don't know when you eat at a restaurant. And yes, you can check the ingredients list, but they might not be following their list. Who knows? When you make it yourself out of food you've grown in your home garden, then you know what's in it, hopefully, pretty much. You can get your soil tested and avoid using chemicals to grow the food. Also carefully clean and avoid natural diseases, of course, like from parasites and slugs and snails and stuff like that. Even slugs and snails can cause disease, believe it or not. And so you got to be very careful. Cook your food, and just be very careful with any raw fruits or vegetables to be healthy. And as I said before, you should be walking at least an hour in a day. You should probably cut down driving, eliminate it if you can, or keep it below, say, 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day, if it's at all possible. So, and avoid sitting for work. Even if you work in an office, you should be standing up, and for a low price, you can get healthy by getting some kind of equipment so you can stand up and use a computer. Just, even having a counter instead of a desk. And there are things that move computers up. And then you should limit to about 3 hours a day any sort of like computer use, or just sitting around computer games and whatnot, and watching videos and so on and so forth. You really need to be exercising and do a variety of exercise, which would be sort of strength training type things where you're lifting heavy objects or moving around, like more aerobic, or swimming, biking, walking. But don't do harsh, dangerous things like hockey and mountain biking and so on and so forth, unless you don't mind the injuries, like racing and marathons. You want to be injured and then be in pain in your old age, do professional sports and risky sports, and hockey, soccer, high polo, mountain biking and whitewater rafting and kayaking, parasailing. These are dangerous things. Bungee jumping. If you want to be in pain or possibly die, then yeah, go ahead, do your scuba diving and all that, But if you want to stay away from risk, just take good lessons. Maybe do some yoga, but not too radical yoga. You can also even get injured doing that. and avoid diets. Just eat a healthy lifestyle. Diets are generally a way to gain weight because by restricting particular foods that you tend to love, you can cut back, but don't restrict, and don't say like, okay, I'm not going to eat XYZ. I'm only going to eat meat, or I'm only going to eat fruit, or whatever. Some people do these diets and then their body goes into sort of self-preservation mode and then holds on to every calorie that it can, making you unhealthy. And so also you can avoid baked goods like pies and cakes and donuts and things like that, because it's extremely easy to get too much oil and fat in your diet, which are lipids, or well, this is not medical advice, by the way, not a nutritionist, but you can get too much liquid fat or saturated or unsaturated fat in your blood by eating pies and cakes and donuts and things like that. So maybe cookies could be better if it's in limited quantities, and maybe like lower fat things like fruits and vegetables. So just think what people could afford and eat a few hundred years ago. Most people couldn't be eating pies and cakes every day. No, but maybe, yes, preserved fruits, but more fresh fruits and vegetables would be good, especially frozen ones, because it's preserving the vitamins. So frozen fruits and vegetables are better than fruits and vegetables that have been sitting around in refrigeration for weeks and weeks and weeks, or maybe not even refrigerated. So frozen, the vitamins and nutrients are much better preserved, believe it or not. So do that, and just cut back if you're overweight. If you can pinch more than an inch, as they say, of fat, then you should cut back on your portion sizes, but don't deny yourself, in a drastic way without medical supervision. And it's really probably not a good idea, fasting and all this. It's probably not a good idea, but having small meals, that's fine. You can have really small meals, but don't put your body into starvation mode where it holds on to every calorie in a drastic way. Just have smaller meals, and when you feel the hunger, like if you're eating enough that you need, eating enough calories to be healthy and be active, it's more that you should exercise and get that at least 1 hour of walking in, and be active, do yard work and gardening and so on and so forth, and be active, and then you won't have to worry so much about exactly what you're eating. But if you're hungry but you're already eating enough and you've had healthy food, I suppose you could take a multivitamin, although there's very little evidence that they work or whatnot, but it could help cut back your hunger, number one. But feeling the hunger is actually when your body starts using